everyone, I hope all of you are doing good. I am Roshni from LearnerHub, the free learning platform where you get to learn math, science absolutely for free at learnerhub.com. So today I am here with a video on simple equations class 7 maths, and in this video we are going to learn about equations. Now the first question that comes to our mind is, why equations? Why do we need them at all? Now let me give you an example. So in fact, I'll give you a scenario where simple equations could be helpful. Let's say that I give you a situation that you have certain number of toffees. Your elder brother has twice the number of toffees that you have plus 2. That means he has 2 more than twice the number of toffees that you have. And I tell you that the total number of toffees is 10. Now, if I ask you how many toffees do you have and how many toffees does your elder brother have? So, how will you calculate? Now, this one is a very simple example. But even if we make the example more complex, even if we make the situation more complex, simple equations always help us to solve such problems. For instance, in this case, what we will do is, we say that okay, we assume that you have X number of toffees. We simply assume it. And your elder brother therefore has 2x plus 2 number of toffees, right? That's as per the question. Now also the question says that the total number of toffees is 10. That means x plus 2x plus 2 is equal to 10. And this is exactly how a simple equation looks like. So our agenda in this entire lesson would be to frame simple equations based on the situations, based on the word problems, and also how do we solve such simple equations. So do you think this is going to be interesting? I am telling you that this is going to be very interesting. So let's get started. So now what do we understand by an equation? So let's start from the very basics. So equation is a statement of equality. Equation. So the first part of the term itself calls equate. That means something which equalize two things. So it is a statement of equality between two mathematical expressions containing one or more variables. So I am sure all of you understand what are mathematical expressions. Now mathematical expressions are those expressions which contain constants like numbers, maybe 1, 2, 5, 60. So these are all constants. They also consist of variables. Now variables are those values which are represented by alphabets. For example, X, Y, Z, A, B, C, P, Q, R. These are all variables. And the mathematical expressions also contain the operators like plus, minus, multiply, divide. So all of these together make the mathematical expressions. So I'll give you some examples of mathematical expression. For example, 3x minus 12. So it has constants 3, 12. It has a variable x. It has an operator minus. So 3x minus 12 is a mathematical expression. Now when you have two such mathematical expression with an equality sign in between. So you put an equal sign and you have another mathematical expression. Now that other mathematical expression could also be only a constant, or it could also be only a variable, something like this, or it could even be something like this. So these are all examples of equation. So for any equation, the only criteria is that an equality sign has to be there and there has to be two mathematical expressions involved. For example, 2x plus 9 by 2 is equal to 5y. This is an example of an equation because you have the equality sign which says that whatever you see on this side and whatever you see on this side, they are equal. Now again, it is not necessary that an equation can have only one variable. It can have one or more variables. For example, here you have two variables, x and y. Similarly, you can even have more than two variables. For example, a plus 3b is equal to 5c. So here you have three variables involved. Something like this, where you just have one variable involved, that is also an equation. So all of these are examples of equation. So constants are those values which have a fixed value of their own. So these are basically the numbers. So for example, you talk about numbers like 5, 50, 162, 3542. Now each of these are numbers, and when you say numbers, they always have their own value. If I say 5 rupees, 5 rupees means 5 rupees. 5 can never become equal to 10. 5 can never become equal to 1 by 5, or 5 can never become equal to minus 5. So all of these are constants, whether you talk about fractions, or you talk about the negative numbers, or you talk about the decimal numbers. These are all examples of constants. So constants means they will always have the same value. That is why they have a fixed value. So here, why do you see this picture? So this picture is to show that for constants, it's like they will always have the same haircut or the same hairstyle. So their hairstyle is not going to change ever. So that's a constant hairstyle or a fixed hairstyle, and these are constants. When you talk about variables, they have changing values. Now they can take different values. Let me give you an example. Now let us talk about any numbers, not number, because numbers always have fixed values. Let's talk about a variable x. Now generally these variables are denoted by alphabets, like X, Y, Z, A, B, C, P, Q, R, M, N, etc. So they are always denoted by alphabets, and these alphabets, they can take different values depending upon the situation. So their values keep on changing, just like this girl. You see right now she has brown hair. Now when she goes to a fancy dress competition, she puts a wig or she colors her hair, and now you see she has got a very weird hair color. She has a greenish hair color because she is going to a fancy dress competition. Again, the same person, when she is again going to a funky party, she has a very short hair, and that too the hair is like blonde. Sometime else, when she wants a very different look, she might even have spikes like this. So the person is the same, the hair is the same, it is just that the hairstyle and the hair color is changing depending upon the ambience where she is going. When she is going to a party, she is having a funky hairstyle. When she is going to a fancy dress competition, she is having a very different hairstyle. When she is going to maybe a cool place, with maybe a family outing with her families and friends, then she is having spikes. When she is going to school, she is having a regular haircut. So variables are like that. Depending upon the situations, their values changes. Let me give you an example of a variable. Let's talk about x. Now, what is the value of x? Because x as such is an alphabet. So x, when I say value of x, it has to be some number. So can you say that the value of x is always 1? You can't say that. Let me give you examples. Let us take examples of different equations with x. Let's say we have one equation, x minus 2 is equal to 6. Let's say we have another equation, 12 minus x is equal to 6. Let's say we have yet another equation, 3x is equal to 12. Now, when you find out the value of x in this equation, now finding value of x means you have to put such a value of x so that this relationship should hold true. That means x minus 2 should be equal to 6. So in this case, you find that the value of x is 8. So if you put 8 instead of x, 8 minus 2 is 6. So here in this equation, x is equal to 8. Similarly, when you find the value of x in this equation, you see that the value of x here is 6. When you put x is equal to 6, 12 minus 6 is 6. In the third equation, the value of x is 4. When you put x is equal to 4, 3 into 4 is 12. So x is equal to 4. So what is happening? You see that the same variable x is taking different values, 8, 6 and 4 in different equations. The same way this girl was taking different hairstyles in different parties. In a fun party it was different, in school it was different, in a family party it was different. Similarly, the values of that x is acquiring is different depending upon the situation. So x is a variable. So these are variables. Now many times children get confused between expressions and equations. So let us very neatly distinguish the two. Now, when we talk about a mathematical expression, so expression is all about a phrase with numbers, variables and operators. So you will have constants, you will have variables, you will also have operators like plus, minus, divide, multiply. So you will have all these operators, but you will not have an equality sign. So you are basically not equating anything in an expression. So examples of expression would be 3x plus 4. This is an expression. Y plus 50 is also an expression. 20b, this is an expression. You have constants, variables. 30 divided by a plus b. So this is also an expression. So these are all examples of expression. So in an expression, you really do not have an equality sign. So there is no equality sign involved in an expression. But when we talk about an equation, equation definitely has an equality sign because it is a statement of equality between two expressions. So something of this sort, 3x plus 4, the same expression, when it gets equated to something else, then it is called an equation. So now 3x plus 4 is, this part is still an expression, but overall this entire thing is an equation. Similarly, 30 divided by a plus b is equal to 12. This thing overall is an equation. 20b is equal to y plus 50. So you see, in the previous example, we saw this is an expression, this is an expression. But when we equate the two of them with an equality sign, it becomes an equation. And in any equation, do you know what is the purpose of this equality sign? This equality sign tells us that whatever we have on the left hand side is equal to whatever we have on the right hand side. So basically, this tells us that LHS has to be equal to RHS. Now that means, for example, here, the value of x should be such that 3 into x plus 4 should be equal to 0. So this is a mandatory criteria that anything on left hand side has to be equal to anything on right hand side. So primarily this is the difference between an expression and an equation. So now let us start setting up an equation. So how do we set up an equation, or how do we make an equation? Now there are certain simple rules that we will follow to set up an equation. Now for all of these, just follow these steps and you will be able to set up the equation very well. Now let's say that you have a problem statement that Payal scored 2 marks more than twice the marks scored by Rohan. Payal's score is 20. What is Rohan's score? So we want to know Rohan's score. Now the first step is that for any value that you need to find or you do not know, consider that as a variable. So in this case, what is that thing which we do not know? Payal's score we already know. Rohan's score is something which we do not know. So what we will do, as per step 1, we will assume Rohan's score to be a variable. Let us say that variable is x. So let Rohan's score be x. That is our first step. For any value that we do not know, or we will have to find that value, we will assume that as a variable. Fine. The second step is set up expressions as per the conditions in the question. Now the question will definitely have some condition or criteria. So in this case, what is the condition? It says that Payal scored 2 marks more than twice the marks scored by Rohan. So this is the condition given in the question. So this is the criteria. So let us make that expression. So as per this, the score of Payal, that means Payal's score should be, as per this condition, it should be 2 marks more than twice the marks scored by Rohan. So twice the marks of Rohan would be 2x plus 2, because 2 marks more than that. So as per the condition, Payal's score should be 2 plus 2x. And the final step is equate the expressions. Equate with what? Equate with whatever value is given in the question. For example, here Payal's score is already given as 20. So what will we equate? We will equate 2x plus 2 is equal to 20, because this is Payal's score as per our assumption, and this is actual Payal's score. So 2x plus 2 is equal to 20. So this is how we set up an equation. Now, how do we solve this equation? That is something which we will take up in the later section. So for now, you just understand how do we set up an equation. So 3 simple steps to set up any equation. First, you assume an unknown value to be a variable. Second, create expressions as per the conditions given in the question. Third, equate the expressions to form an equation. So let us now try to set up equation for a couple of examples. Let's consider this example 1. Lakshmi's father is 49 years old. Okay, this is something which is already given. He is 4 years older than 3 times Lakshmi's age. Okay, so this is basically our condition. The second statement is nothing but the condition. So what is that value which we do not know? So here also we will follow step by step. In step 1, we will first assume that value to be x, which we do not know. So we already know Lakshmi's father's age, but we do not know Lakshmi's age. So let us assume that Lakshmi's age is x. So our first step is done. Now let's move on to step 2. It says that we will have to build expressions for the condition. So what is the condition? It says that father is 4 years older than 3 times Lakshmi's age. So 3 times Lakshmi's age is 3x, 4 years older than that. That means 3x plus 4. So this should be father's age as per the conditions given in the question. Perfect. Now let's move on to step 3. So in step 3, what are we going to do? We are going to equate the expressions. So one expression is 3x plus 4, which is father's age. But in the question, father's age is already given as 49. So 3x plus 4 should be equal to 49. So this is our equation for this problem statement. So this is how we set up equations. Let's look at one more example. In an isosceles triangle, the vertex angle is twice either base angle. So this gives you the relationship or the criteria. Remember that the sum of the angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. Now let us first understand everything term by term. Now what do we mean by isosceles triangle? So isosceles triangle is a triangle where two sides are equal. So let us say if we have a triangle ABC such that the length of AB is equal to the length of AC. So if AB is equal to AC, then we say that ABC is an isosceles triangle. So in isosceles triangle, two sides are equal. Now these two angles are also equal. That is, angle ABC is equal to angle ACB. So these are the properties of isosceles triangle. Now these two angles are called the base angles because they are located at the base, and this angle, the third remaining angle, is called the vertex angle. Clear? So now we understand what is base angle, what is vertex angle in an isosceles triangle. Now what is there in the question? What is that angle which we do not know? So in this case, we do not know the base angle. We also do not know the vertex angle. We do not know any of them. So what do we do? Now when we look at the criteria or when we look at the relationship, we see that it says that vertex angle is twice either base angle. Now both the base angles are going to be the same. So in step 1, what do? We assume, let us assume that the base angle, which is equal to angle B or angle ABC, which is also equal to angle ACB, let us assume that this base angle is equal to x. So we have assumed. So our first step is over. In second step, let's make mathematical expression based on the condition that is given. So the condition is vertex angle is twice either base angle. So the vertex angle as per this is vertex angle will be equal to twice the value of each base angle. So it will be 2x. Perfect. Now in the third step, what do? In step 3, we equate the expressions, right? So we have a vertex angle as 2x and we have a relationship that sum of all the three angles of a triangle is 180 degree. That means angle ABC plus angle ACB plus angle BAC, this is equal to 180 degrees. This is something that we know by properties of triangle. So angle ABC, what is angle ABC? ABC is a base angle which is x, which we have assumed as x. What is ACB? ACB is again base angle, which is x. What is BAC? BAC is the vertex angle, which is 2x. So this is equal to 180 degrees. Therefore, x plus 2x, which is equal to 4x, is equal to 180 degree. So this is going to be the equation for this problem statement. So you see here it was slightly different, but again we followed the same 3 steps and we could arrive at the equation. So based on whatever we have learned about the basics of simple equations, let us try to solve some questions. Question number 1. Check whether the value given in the brackets is a solution to the given equation or not. Now, even before we start trying this, let us first try to understand what do we mean by solution of an equation. So, solution of an equation means that value of the variable which, when put in place of the variable, the equation will be true. That means, let us look at the first example. So, the first example is 7n plus 5 is equal to 19. So, a solution of this equation would be such a value of n for which LHS is equal to RHS. So that value of n for which whatever value you get from 7n plus 5 should be equal to 19. Only then that is called solution of this equation. Right? So here the value that is given is minus 2. So let us put n is equal to minus 2. So LHS, what would be LHS? LHS would be 7 into minus 2 plus 5. So this is equal to minus 14 plus 5, which is equal to minus 9. And what is the value of the RHS? RHS is 19. So what do we see? We see that LHS is not equal to RHS. So do you think that n is equal to minus 2 is a solution? No, this is not a solution of this equation. Let us try with the next one, which is 4p minus 3 is equal to 13. So here the solution that is given is p is equal to 0. So let us put p is equal to 0 in LHS. It becomes 4 into 0 minus 3, which is equal to 4 into 0 is 0. So 0 minus 3 is minus 3. And what is the value on the RHS? That is 13. So in this case also we see that LHS is not equal to RHS. So what do you think? Is p equal to 0 a solution of this equation? No, this is also not a solution of this equation. Question number 2. Write equations for the following statements. The sum of numbers x and 4 is 9. Sum of numbers, that means when you add these numbers x and 4, that is x plus 4, then what is the result? The result is 9. So this would be the equation for this statement. 3/4 of t is 15. 3/4, what do we mean by 3/4? It means 3 by 4 of something. 3 by 4 multiplied by something. What is that something? That something is the variable t. So 3 by 4 of t is equal to 15. If you take away 6 from 6 times y, you get 60. So if you take away 6, that means you are removing 6 from 6 times y. So basically you are subtracting 6 from 6 times y, and what do you get? You get 60. If you add 3 to 1/3 of z, so how do you write 1/3 of z? It is nothing but 1 by 3 of z. So you add 3 to 1 by 3 of z, and what do you get? You get 30. So z by 3 plus 3 is equal to 30. So this is how we convert statements into equations. Question number 3. Write the following equations in statement forms. Okay, so this is just the opposite thing now. So the first one is 3p plus 4 is equal to 25. So what are we actually doing here? We are adding 4 to 3 times p. So that means 4 added to 3 times p gives what? Gives 25. Similarly, in the second one, what are we doing? We are adding 2 to half of p. So 2 added to half of p gives 8. In the third one, what are we doing? Are we adding something? No. We are subtracting something. That means 2 subtracted from 4 times p, or we can say 2 taken away from 4 times p. So 2 subtracted from 4 times p gives 18. So these are pretty simple. So you just need to understand what do you mean by a specific linear equation. Question number 4. Set up an equation in the following cases. Irfan says that he has 7 marbles more than 5 times the marbles Parmeet has. Irfan has 37 marbles. Take M to be the number of Parmeet's marbles. Okay, so this is something which we had discussed. So as per our step 1, Parmeet's marbles is something that we do not know. So we assume it to be a variable. Now here in the question it says that let's assume it as M. Perfect. Now our second condition is to establish the criteria. So what is the criteria? Irfan has 7 marbles more than 5 times Parmeet's marbles. So 5 times of Parmeet's marbles would be 5M plus 7. So 7 more. So 5M plus 7 should be Irfan's marbles. But actually Irfan has how many marbles? He has 37 marbles. Therefore 5M plus 7 is equal to 37 would be the equation. Let's look at the next one. The teacher tells the class that the highest marks obtained by a student in her class is twice the lowest marks plus 7. The highest score is 87. So we already know the highest score. So what we do not know? The lowest score. So let us assume the lowest score to be L. So our step 1 is done. What is going to be step 2? In step 2, we are going to establish the relationship. So in step 2, we would say that what is going to be our highest marks. So highest marks would be twice the lowest marks plus 7. So twice the lowest marks, that is 2L plus 7. And finally in step 3, what are we going to do? We are going to set up the equation. So we are going to equate this highest mark, that is 2L plus 7, to how much? The given highest score, that is 87. So 2L plus 7 is equal to 87 would be the equation.
I hope you found the video useful. Now what are you supposed to do after watching this video? Now you are supposed to practice, because when it comes to maths, you are supposed to practice. So practice more and more questions that will make your concepts even better. And if you feel that after watching this video, your concepts became crystal clear, please do write in the comment section that concepts crystal clear. So I will meet you all very soon with a new video, with a new topic. Till then, stay home, stay safe, take care. Bye-bye.